Hello, welcome to your sensory, clinical, and neurological exam. I'm Dr. Bomboni and I will be conducting a very simple test on you to determine your neurological functioning, making sure your nerves are working properly and firing at all times. So basically the nerves have axons on them that trigger sort of like an electrical volt shock whenever you are in particular danger from trauma, injury, a burn, even a pinch and a nick of the skin. So your nerves fire at their ends, kind of like through a terminal, a tunnel, and they're very fast. Are about 110 miles an hour from your brain to the point of injury. That's very quick. They say if you were the size of your head being in Alaska and your toes being in South Africa, a shark comes up and bites you in the toe, it would take 3 days for the neurons to fire from your brain and back until you even felt pain. So that distance from Alaska to South Africa, that's how fast they go. If you think about it, it's pretty phenomenal. I mean, you'd have to drive straight 110 miles an hour there and back for it to take 3 days, so I guess it makes sense, but I just wish there was a better way they could portray that fact, like maybe the fastest a car can go, and you being the size of your 5', 6' body, you know, how fast it goes, you don't even really feel or process at the time. But basically some people, I'm telling you this fact because some people have a slower response and their brain is not functioning the same way, and some people very rarely, but it does occur on occasion. I believe there's about 20 cases in the world of this where they feel absolutely no pain whatsoever. They can eat a jalapeno and feel nothing. They can burn their hand on the stove on accident, then feel nothing, and even injure themselves and feel nothing. So I'm sure you can watch plenty of those case interviews on that. Pretty phenomenal, but yet dangerous, because that's your one and only way of your brain warning you that you're in danger and you can risk your life if you don't pull your hand away from that stove, or maybe you open yourself on accident and it's too much coming out. Not to sound gruesome, but that's your only way of your brain telling you you're in danger. Okay, so I have 10 different things here to test, 10 different types of sensation on your skin. So your skin is the only way you can access these pain receptors. On rare occasion, let's say during a very traumatic car accident per se, you completely are removed of a limb and you're unable to feel pain. Now that is the one and only blessing, so that the person doesn't experience that much trauma, but because you went so deep into the injury that you have cut off access to your nerves as well, so you feel no pain. And on some occasions people have overactive nerves and they are constantly shooting and causing pain or tingling, numbing sensation in some people, so that also prevents you from actually experiencing what it is that you're touching or feeling at a certain time. So this test is intended as the sensory/neurological examination to evaluate that. So does that make any sense whatsoever? I kind of just am broadly stating as an intro for you to know why I'm doing this to begin with. talk, I will begin, and then you are free to go. It's that simple. You just tell me yes or no at any given time, okay? Sounds good? So each trigger, as we call it, trigger the response of the nerves, in hopes of triggering the response of the nerve if you're healthy. I will be testing it on multiple parts of your body, like including your face, arms, wrists, hands, on occasion the leg, right? Okay. We're more worried about the upper half because that is where your major organs are stored, and we need those areas to be working so that they can protect your vital organs. Understandable? Right. Okay. So, let's begin with the brush. And if you don't mind me asking, what was your initial intention for receiving this exam? Okay, so describe that shakiness for me, please. It's very important. Just be upfront and honest with me. So when you're working on the computer, you've been having to work from home lately a lot, okay? Is there any reason for that? Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. I'm sure a lot of people have to now. So, you find it hard to type or click on the mouse sometimes because it's overactive, okay? So would it be kind of like a trembling action here, like a quivering? And you feel it in your wrist cavity, okay? Now, do you consume any caffeine during the day? And how many cups? Not metric, just regular old cups. Okay, 3 to 4, alright, so that may be the cause, along with the stress of having to change your routine for your job. And I suppose, how is your sleep life going? I'm getting plenty, 8 hours a day. Okay, not enough. So that's probably your brain kind of adjusting and getting used to this new schedule, this new routine. I'm sure it will subside. We're going to test that today. But if you're totally healthy and normal today and it doesn't subside in 4 to 6 weeks, I'd say, then please call us back in so we can do an x-ray on you, okay? Alright, so let's begin with the brush. So I'm just going to gently brush your face. You can keep your eyes open or closed if you intend, but I just only ask for your health and safety and well-being, for you coming here because you had a concern about your wrist, that you just remain as honest as possible, okay? If you don't feel it, tell me. If you do, tell me the truth, okay? I confide in you and confidentiality, and I appreciate and hope you would do the same for me without judgment. I understand it can be embarrassing for some people if I do this and they don't feel anything, you know. That's why I'm here, so we can work this through and figure it out, okay? I appreciate it, so. Just yes or no. Every time I swipe, just say yes or no. Or nod, or shake your head. Okay? Yeah. This is intended to be a light trigger test. Good. Yeah, that time I didn't touch you. Yeah, that was like a trick question. What about here? How would you describe that? 0 being not at all, 10 being you feel it a lot. A 2, okay. Good. And what about here? Okay. Tickling. Alright, good. mention exactly where I'm pressing the brush, or any trigger for the matter. That's on you to feel. Okay, good. Now, at any time that I've pressed with this gentle brush tip, let's say I pressed here on your right temple, did you feel that anywhere else in your body? For any of the places, like your nose, you felt here, or your forehead, you felt here? No? Okay, good. Because on a rare occasion, there are people who you press here, they'll feel it here. You know? So, you're A-okay. Now, this is a more tactile trigger, so I'm going to ask you to hold this thing for about a minute or so. You know, no pressure there. This is a very easygoing, stress-free kind of exam. It's not as strenuous as, per se, a cranial nerve examination where you would, you've gotten those several times. Okay. And what was the reason for those? Accident. Okay. Well, and did someone refer you? Okay, good. I just want to make sure. But, hey, that could be contributing to your wrist. A lot of underlying issues. Do you happen to take any medications? Okay. And which one? Oh, no, that's not a medication. No, you're good. Okay. But I'm going to ask you to hold this in your hands, and I won't tell you what it is, but just describe to me in the most best possible way that you can. I'm trying to loosen it out of this jar. It's been here for a few months. Describe what it is you feel from this object. Texture, even smell it. What you see from it. I need to test all of your senses. Besides taste, I wouldn't lick this or eat this if I were you. It's not edible, I can tell you that. But it's our special formula. The perfect recipe enhanced to determine how your senses are functioning. So I'm just going to warm it up a bit for you, okay? Because it's kind of stale. So how's your day been so far? Besides your wrist, is there anything else in your life in particular? Now it's stuck in my nails. Is there anything else in your daily life, including today, that has been stressing you out or making you feel off or different than usual? Yeah, I understand a lot of people have been reporting that lately, but overall, minus the facts of life that maybe you have been put off in a way or against your normal, usual routine, you overall as an individual, as a person, how have you been feeling, or have you been feeling differently than usual? Describe to me in the best detail while I warm this up. And don't hold back, even if it's maybe embarrassing to talk about. I see. How would you scale that? A 9. recurring chronic issue, please remember the 4 to 6 week rule and call back in, okay? Alright, I think this is ready, so here you go. You hold it, press it, squeeze it, touch it, feel it, smell it, hear it. And I'll give you some time to do that with the mystery material, the putty goo. This sort of, I almost gave it away, but alien-esque slob. What does it sound like when you squish it? What does it smell like? What does it feel like between your fingers, palms? Okay. So we did feel, we did sound, we did smell. And what does it look like? Okay, you can give it back to me now. Thanks. I know it's fun to play with, but... Oh, and we have made quite a mess here. Yeah, that's why it's important to warm it up, because, oh my, it does certainly become a mess. Yeah, you can imagine when a younger adult comes in here and starts playing with it. It's like, you can't take it away from them, you know? Alright. Well, I use this all day, every day, so I'm used to having it in my fingers. Alright, that's very good. You were pretty accurate. This is a tub of slime, so that's basically what it is, how you would describe it. Alright. Now I'm going to use this eraser tip. And again, gently brushing over random parts. And you tell me if you sense this. It's a different type of texture than the brush and the slime. Again, I'm using different materials to see if you can sense and feel all of them. Okay, so here we go. Same process, yes or no? Nod or shake? Either or. Excellent. And how did that feel like overall? A bit of friction, like dry, rough fingertips. Yeah. Okay. So the next test is a sort of a solid/liquid. So this might confuse the mind for some because they don't really know what they're experiencing, especially with their eyes closed. So I'll use this highlighter and I'm just gonna trial one. So that felt kind of like a liquid slash solid. It's kind of soft felt tip, so were your eyes to be closed, you wouldn't really know what it is because it's very thin to begin with and very light. You almost don't feel it. So, again, same principle. I'll just mark your arms, okay? How does that sound? Because we don't want to get it all over, right? Especially because of the wrist, I'm a bit concerned there, so let's do that first. So, here we go. All right. Now you should be able to wash it off in the sink before you go. I know it can be embarrassing to have that lines of this streaking down your arm. That's all. Did you feel that all the time? Some of the time it was difficult. About halfway through. Very light. Okay, that's normal. I mean, yeah, some of them were more press on, some of them were gentler, for sure. Mm-hmm. You're doing great, don't worry. So again, this part is just for you to feel. I ask that you hold this in your hands, and same principle. Sound, sight, touch, and smell. Okay? Okay, here you go. Yeah, you're not supposed to know what it is yet. Take your time. So, what does it smell like? When you're ready, of course. Plasticky. Okay, good. What does it feel like then? Mesh, like a soft net, like a piece of clothing. Okay. What do you hear when you move this around? Like rustling blankets. Okay. And what do you see from this? What does it look like to you? A hairnet piece. Sort of like a fence. Okay, very good. You can give this back to me now. Well, that's exactly what it is. I won't demonstrate because I don't want to mess this up, but yeah, again, it is very weird smell, but yeah, plastic is usually a close guess. It's more like fabric, you know. Alright, so this is probably the least pleasant part of this exam. The part that makes people a little bit uncomfortable, a little nervous, but just basically going to be grasping some of your skin like this with these tweezer looking tongs, and very gently. Sometimes they'll add a bit more pressure than others, and sometimes just a gentle, and sometimes nothing at all. Again, same principle. Are you ready? Okay. Well, don't worry. No injury will be caused by this because your skin overall and the parts that I will be pinching are pretty thick, so you don't need to worry about discomfort in any way or puncturing you by mistake. I've been doing this for quite a while, so I can reassure you. All right. Just a pinch and tug, see? Not so bad. doing great. See, not bad, right? When it was the pinch and tuck action, what did that feel like? Just like someone's pulling your skin with some cold fork or something. Okay. The gentle touch there, what did that feel like? And on your arm. Like a light stroke with a fingernail. Okay. And when I didn't press it at all, what did that feel like? Trick question. Of course, nothing. A bit of nervousness, yeah. That's normal. To feel a bit anxious, like in anticipation. What's he gonna do next? Alright, so this is a different type of material. Just describe what this feels like. Okay. I'm just going to be rubbing it over several times. You just tell me the best of your ability. And that's a very good description, yeah. Like a honeycomb, sort of. Mm-hmm. Interesting. Interesting. All right. Just ignore the outside noise. A lot of kids are not at school right now because of what's happening. So, yeah, our office is next to a playground area, so like a park. Hopefully, it's not distracting. I've been meaning to talk with them about getting this room noise isolated because some patients describe discomfort with the traffic and all that, distraction, especially with sensitive ears, or we get a lot of people with tinnitus, Alright, well, you can't accommodate to everyone, I know, but we're doing our best, so good. Now, the second most uncomfortable. Now, this won't hurt at all, but doctors can appear to be a bit sadistic sometimes, but I'm not one of those. I can reassure you, these are just going to be gentle. It's going to feel a little numb, maybe. That's why I asked you what medication you take, because some people can bruise easily from even this. So we just want to make sure that you are not going to feel uncomfortable, or in general don't bruise easily. Okay, good. So again, just very light taps. Here we go. And I'll be working a lot on your legs too. Okay. All right. Now just gentle. What does that feel like? Good. Got your arms, now your shoulders. Good. Upper chest. Good. And what does that feel like? Just run it down your arms. Okay. You can feel that. Good. And your legs. Good. Good. you could feel the change in how much I applied with this when I rolled it, and the light strokes and the taps and the different thumps and different parts. Okay. You can actually feel the different physical sensations of maybe slight discomfort, annoyance with your nerves firing, like, I don't like this, how this feels, or this is unusual or not my normal way of what I feel in this area. Yeah. So I went over the parts, especially near the medial leg, where you don't normally feel certain types of application or pressure. So that's the best area to fire these axons to determine if they work properly, because some people don't even realize they have an injury there, or maybe like a certain amount of fat buildup near that area where it's numbing or blocking some nerves, and they can't have a physical sensation there. So we just want to ensure that, although uncomfortable to have that area reached, it's more for your better well-being to make sure that you have normal circulation. And it's very important overall to get daily stretching, movement, exercise. Get up from the chair every 15 to 30 minutes, go for a walk, stretch, and drink plenty of fluids, right? Yeah. So as you age, it only progressively gets maybe a bit more uncomfortable or functioning less. So we just want to keep making sure that you are on task with that, especially with the now wrist. It's very important to stretch and do those knuckle curlers. You've heard of those? Yeah, those are great for strength and training. Alright, piece of paper. Again, hold this and describe now what you hear. There you go. What does it smell like? Newspaper. What does it feel like? Oh, paper is not an answer. A smooth piece of wood. Okay, good one. That's very creative. And what do you see? Okay, great. You can give that back to me. There you go. Now the final part of this exam is using your eyes only, and you just, instead of reading from far away, up close, tell me each letter and number. Okay, good. Keep going. Just as I point, you read. You need me to get a bit closer? Okay, good. I understand, because not everyone's vision's the same. I just want to ensure that you're able to read all of these. Okay, good. 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 Excellent. Now one last thing. Just read the numbers. read this as well. Almost done. Good, good. Now what color is that? And that? And the paper? And the font? What color is that? Can you read that? Okay, what language is that? Okay, good. Can you read that? Okay. And what language is that? Okay, good. What color is this? Excellent. You're all done. This concludes the portion of your sensory and neurology exam. Thank you for coming in. And how many fingers am I holding up? Just kidding. Last minute joke to get you there. Again, keep that in mind. You have my number. At 4 to 6 weeks, you still feel your nerves firing. Okay? Alright, thanks for coming in.